All right, leaders of the BRICS nations are discussing the current economic and political challenges with focus on member countries. Russia, that is engaged in a protracted war with Ukraine, is also up in discussion. Let's take you live to that meeting right now.
For economic recovery, we must improve macro policy coordination, keep industrial and supply chains secure and unclogged, build an open world economy, diffuse the major risks and challenges to global development, and strive for more inclusive and resilient economic growth. And the fourth, we must promote sustainable development. We must be guided by people-centered approach and allocate more resources to poverty reduction, food production, education, and health. Accelerate implementation of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development and realize stronger, greener, and healthier global development. Dear colleagues, under the theme Foster High-Quality BRICS Partnership, ushering a new era for global development, I look forward to a lively discussion and your insights and contributions to high-quality BRICS cooperation. According to the agreed agenda, I will now call on President Ramaphosa, President Bolsonaro, President Putin, and Prime Minister Modi to deliver opening remarks in turn. After that, we will hear presentations about the meeting of high security representatives and other cooperation mechanisms, and then we will exchange views on major international and regional issues and areas of BRICS cooperation. I will close by a brief statement. Now I give the floor to President Ramaphosa for your opening remarks.
And especially President Xi for convening this vital 14th BRICS summit. We meet at a time of great uncertainty. COVID-19 pandemic continues to have a devastating impact on human life, livelihoods, economies, and communities around the world. We are here as the members of BRICS to affirm our shared desire for a world in which all people have a meaningful stake, in which all have equal opportunity, and from which all can benefit. The BRICS response to COVID-19 pandemic demonstrated that we can achieve a great deal when we work together in the spirit of friendship, solidarity, and responsibility. The launch of the BRICS Vaccine Research and Development Center in March of this year will strengthen international health and science cooperation to prepare for future pandemics. It is a cause for great concern that the rest of the global community has not sustained the principles of solidarity and cooperation when it comes to equitable access to vaccines. We call on developed economies, international agencies, and philanthropists that procure vaccines to purchase from manufacturers in developing economies, including Africa. We need to realize the great potential of our economic partnership to strengthen intra-BRICS trade, investment, and tourism. Our combined economic strength should be a catalyst for sustainable global economic recovery. In line with our foreign policy principles, South Africa continues to call for dialogue and negotiations towards peaceful resolutions of conflicts around the world. We are concerned that the focus and resources of the international community have been diverted from other concerning conflicts and humanitarian crises. Urgent global issues like climate change and sustainable development are not being effectively attended to. Decision-making across the entire United Nations system needs to be democratized so that the multilateral institutions can effectively address global challenges and crises. We look forward to the high-level dialogue on global development tomorrow. BRICS provides a valuable platform to address the key challenges of the Global South in partnership with like-minded emerging markets. This high-level dialogue is an opportunity to form a common vision of a more inclusive, just, and stable international order. And BRICS must play its important role of giving leadership to the world as well. I thank you.
Thank you, President Ramaphosa. South Africa has made important contributions to BRICS cooperation. With your efforts, we have established the Business Council, the Think Tanks Council, and the Vaccine R&D Center and so on. I still remember when we had the first BRICS outreach dialogue in Durban, when we met with our African brothers and composed a new chapter of South-South cooperation in the new era. Now I give the floor to President Bolsonaro.
Dear colleagues, President and Prime Minister, President Xi Jinping of China, President Cyril Ramaphosa, President Vladimir Putin, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me to take part for the fourth time in this BRICS summit. I wish to thank the Chinese presidency for organizing this meeting and also greet the Chinese President Xi Jinping and the Chinese people who have extended such a warm welcome to me during my visit to China in 2019. On that occasion, we were able to make progress in the strategic partnership between China and Brazil with concrete benefits for our peoples, as shown in our cooperation during COVID-19. Greetings likewise to my other colleagues, Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, Vladimir Putin of Russia, who extended to me a very warm welcome during my visit to Russia in February, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi of India, all of which are countries with which Brazil has maintained strategic relations in several different areas, ranging from politics to trade, from technology and innovation to public health care. Our relations have helped improve the prosperity of our economies and foster the overall well-being of our peoples. We must join efforts towards a reform of the international organizations such as the World Bank, the IMF, and the United Nations system, especially its Security Council. The increasing weight and relevance of emerging and developing economies should have its due and deserved representation in those forums. For Brazil, BRICS is a cooperation model that is based on a win-win formula for all stakeholders and for the international community as a whole. For this reason, we must choose priorities with a sense of responsibility and transparency. Brazil, rather BRICS, is not only a factor for stability and prosperity in the international scene, but it is also in a position to contribute to job creation and income generation, as well as to the overall well-being of our populations. Presidents, Mr. Prime Minister, BRICS came into being amidst one of the most serious financial crises in history. In that context, the strength of emerging economies proved key for the recovery of the international economy at the time. Under my administration, I have been directing the Brazilian foreign policy towards the social and economic development of Brazil and of our partners. We must keep on paying attention to ensure that diplomatic efforts will always remain focused on the broader objective of fostering prosperity and peace. I do hope that we will soon be able to meet again in person to address these and so many other topics of relevance for our bilateral and multilateral agendas. In the meantime, I further reiterate Brazil's willingness to ensure that even in a virtual format, we be able to engage in a productive, fruitful dialogue and ensure that the 14th summit of BRICS be fully successful. Thank you so much, everyone.
Brazil has been actively committed to promoting BRICS practical cooperation if BRICS is like a tree, and if it is to prosper, it must strike deep roots. And that's why throughout this year and our chairship, we have focused on making solid progress. We're prepared to work with our partners to achieve new results in BRICS cooperation. Now, I give the floor to President Putin for your opening remarks.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency President Xi Jinping, Your Excellency President Ramaphosa, Your Excellency President Bolsonaro, and Your Excellency Prime Minister Modi. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to join the colleagues that have already intervened and thank President Xi Jinping and all the Chinese friends for their active efforts this year to promote the strategic partnership within BRICS. The countries of our alliance keep deepening their interaction across all the range of global and regional issues. And year by year, the profile and the clout of BRICS on the world arena increase progressively. This is only natural because the BRICS 5 nations have huge, truly immense political, economic, science, and technological and human capability. And indeed, we truly have all the opportunities at hand to pursue effective interaction and work to ensure international stability and security, sustainable growth and well-being, and improving our people's living standards. I believe that the theme of today's summit is highly relevant: foster high-quality BRICS partnership, ushering a new era of global development. The complexity and transnational nature of challenges and threats that the international community has been faced with oblige us to seek joint answers with an active participation of our alliance. We reiterate that only in concert such goals should be resolved and tackled as the conflict resolution, fighting terrorism and organized crime, including the criminal use of new technology, countering climate change and the spread of dangerous infections. Definitely only on the basis of frank and win-win cooperation we can find solutions to the crisis situation that is observed now in the global economy because of the ill-conceived and self-interested action by some separate states that have been using the financial mechanisms, shirking all their own mistakes and putting their own mistakes on other states. I'm convinced that now as never before, BRICS leadership is relevant in order to design a truly positive, unifying force to form a multipolar system of intergovernmental relations based on the universal rules of international law and the key principles of the UN Charter. With this, we can count on the support of many states of Asia, Africa, and Latin America that strive to pursue an independent policy. I'm sure that, as a custom, this summit will be meaningful and fruitful, and we will be able to have a frank and substantive exchange on the most relevant and pressing regional and global problems and the aspects of strategic partnership, including in the extended BRICS Plus format. I underline and emphasize that Russia is ready to keep pursuing a closest possible versatile interaction with all the BRICS partners and enhance its role in the international affairs. Thank you.